Hi, welcome to Deep Dive TV. I am Jamal Dean Wiayekwa. Today on Questions Hour, I'll be speaking to Ishmael Nii Lante Lamptey, the SRC President of Ghana Institute of Journalism. Our conversation will be centered on his coming into office and the Institute's 2021 SRC Week celebrations, which will be launched on the 24th of July. Stay with us. Mr. Nii Lante Lamptey, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we are grateful to have you on this show today.
Yeah, I'm also grateful for having me and to speak about issues related to my administration and that borders much about the students of the Ghana Institute of Journalism.
Okay, before we continue with the conversation, what actually inspired you to go for this position?
Well, I think leadership is something that we nurture, and so as part of my life, I've participated in quite a number of leadership programs, and therefore that basically sets the tone for my desire to have leadership, to occupy leadership positions and to contribute my very best to supporting and improving the lives of people wherever I meet them. So basically that could be it, but my very life on campus from level 100 has been about student activism, writing about student issues, writing petitions to management, assisting students wherever it's necessary and it is within my power. And so that has been the bedrock for the position I occupy today.
Great. So how was it like, the student politics? How was it like? Was it difficult or it was easy to convince them in your turn of politics?
Well, it depends. Every student or every voter out there has an interest, and so it is best that as a politician or as a student activist, you need to understand the fact that you are a product, and as a product it is necessary for you to brand yourself such that anybody who comes into the market to buy a product will buy what you are presenting. And in presenting you as a product, you need to understand the needs of the people. And so it was for me easy and tough because I understood what I wanted, and going for it, I made sure that I presented myself as the best product in the market for the student to buy. We had different aspirants.
Okay,
but I made sure I was
sorry to cut you, but then in your term of vying for the position, who do you think was your strong opponent? Well, was there someone that you think, oh, this person is a threat?
Well, there were a few. There were a few contenders. One I will mention as the current Speaker to General Assembly, who I appointed to lead the House of General Assembly, was my strongest contender and opponent. But today it is beautiful to see that we are working together. And all in the name and in the interest of students. So I had opposition. That's why I said in a way it was easy, and then at another edge it was very difficult.
Did your appointment come as a result of him being the person being the strongest threat in your student politics?
That was,
or you realized that he will be a good product to your administration?
Yeah, there were a lot of issues that happened before I came into office. And when you look at all that, it is necessary for us to be together. And he possesses the qualities of the kind of person I personally wanted to occupy the office of the Speaker. And so that was
basically he's
competent, and he is good, and he has what it takes to run the house, and he has done by far an excellent job.
Okay, so the COVID delayed the elections.
Yes.
You came into office late than we all expected. So how does that affect your plans as the SRC president?
It does. So over the years, SRC executives come into office after the second semester, and then you have a very long vacation, which is 3 months.
Yeah.
And so during that period, you are able to plan your administration. You are able to put programs and activities in place. You allocate funding, and then you meet people, you talk to them.
Yeah.
And we were unable to do that. For example, one of the things that has delayed in my administration has to do with first student souvenirs.
Yeah.
As at date, we haven't been able to give souvenirs to students.
Yeah,
the reason is because we had access to student funds on the 26th of May, which is just let's say a month ago.
Yeah.
And how easy will it be for me to procure such quantum and amount of product and then do such transactions within the space of time I had? So it has really been tough in planning. It's like a lot of things have compiled up, and you need to execute all
time
of them within the very period you have. So it has really been tough.
Okay.
It has really been tough for us.
So what would have been different if you had come into office at the right time? Let's say without the COVID and everything was normal, and you come into office at the right time. What do you think would have been different?
What would have been different would be that we had planned programs in time. We had executed them too in time. So, like
let's
the
say by
example
now,
I have given, we had already given out souvenirs to students in the first semester. Students had completed first semester, they don't even have their souvenirs, and we are in the second semester. We've done 3 weeks already, and still they haven't received their souvenirs, and it is worrying. And the calls I receive each day, even when I post on Facebook, where are souvenirs and all that, as if you are not willing to give it out to them.
In some WhatsApp groups which I belong to, I do see some saying that. Well, some of them people
some even had written petitions that if you are unable to give us our products within this space of time, we will do this and that, and we have to assure them.
I do come across such messages.
So it means that if we had come into office earlier, we would have been able to execute all those projects even before now.
Being coming to office late, what have you been able to do so far?
Well, we've done quite a number of things, and it will amaze you what we have done over the 1 month period. We've had access to student funds, and then the last 3 months, let's say 3 months or so we've been in office, we've done quite a number of things, and it is really amazing. Sometimes I sit down and I reflect on what we have done by far, and I am amazed by the effort we've put in place. We have been able to pay fees for students, about 20 students who needed aid, to pay their fees through the office of the student aid director. We've been able to pay fees for such students. We've also been
such students. Did you pay their fees in full, or maybe
no? We settled some with their 40% they needed to pay to register for this semester.
Okay.
We were able to help some others to. With us, the maximum amount we gave to a student was the minimum. Amount we gave to a student was 500 cedis. Some had some money; they were able to raise
each.
That was the least amount we gave to out of the 20 students.
I know definitely the money needed by them will vary.
Yeah, it varied. So that was what we were.
So the minimum amount to
a student was 500 cedis. So we're able to do that for 20 students. And then some students too had special cases. For example, they are on student loan, they are on Get Fund and all those things. And so we presented their case as a special case. And so we made an arrangement with the management of the university
to give them
amnesty. So we were able to equally
while they wait on such.
Exactly. We were able to equally secure 30 student amnesty. And so they've been able to attend lectures and all that. That is why even this academic year you won't be able to see issues regarding I've not paid my fees, and so students will have to go on demonstration.
So
we've been able
to. Portal is not open.
Exactly.
We've been able to. Actually, this semester I've not seen such.
Yeah, we've been able to keep that. We've also assisted some students who had issues with their results from level 200 diploma. Ones had issues with, for example, is it political science,
political communication,
political com, and it is being resolved. So
okay,
that
if you
was,
say they have issues with their results, is it the results not being in, or
yeah,
maybe
some
the
students
results?
had X on their portal, some haven't seen it, and they've been chasing for it to be resolved. It hasn't.
They
And
have
so when we
X,
stepped in,
meanwhile they've taken part in all the necessary activities.
Yes. So when we
Okay.
came in, we've also done activism and
So
advocacy.
let's say
for
you
it to
intervene
be- yes.
to make sure that the right thing is being done.
Yeah. So that is
Okay.
what we have also been able to do. Aside that, you have this printer here, which we want to use for commercial purpose.
Okay.
For the SRC. We'll run printing press at the new site for the SRC. One initiative to equally generate funds for the SRC. We've also run shuttle service. The shuttle in 2 years hasn't been running, but when we came into office,
Yeah.
we've resolved all those issues and the shuttle is running. That's one thing we have done. The SRC office, which you see today, very nice. It's also, when we came, it was in a very deplorable state, but we've given it another corporate touch.
Okay,
and
you've mentioned this printer. So how are you going to run it? Is it that students, when they come, they'll print for them free, or they'll have to pay some token for their work to be printed?
It's business. So we are going to run the printing press as business.
Okay.
Just like everywhere where students will pay for the amount of money they take for printing and all those things.
Yeah.
We will look at doing so.
Okay.
But if it is at a point we find it necessary that we need to subsidize the cost, why not? But for now, it is going to be run on a commercial base, and it will be done at the new site and not this campus. And so that is the reason for the initiative. We equally had 2 budgets passed by General Assembly. Over the years, budgets are thrown out of General Assembly, but we've had ours passed, 2 budgets. We've also had a financial statement presented to General Assembly. Another remarkable thing our administration has done, which is a legacy, is that the SRCs over the years haven't accounted for funds and resources they use. But when I came into office with my executives, we constituted the audit commission, and then they have done audit of our first budget that we presented to General Assembly. And so it tells you about how accountable and open our government has been to students, making sure that the very penny of the student we use are accounted for.
Okay,
in the interest of
you
students.
mentioned that the previous SRC presidents, they've not accounted for how their funds have been run before leaving office. So how then will you be able to convince students that in the process of accounting for your funds, what you've used, how then will you convince students that this is the actual funds you've used? Maybe some might think that, you want to rely on what previous SRC presidents they've done because they've not accounted for their funds. Maybe you want to rely on that and don't do 1 or 2 things. That might not be true about your accountability. How will you convince them?
Well, what is most important is that we've used the funds to, for example, buy a printer. When you come, you see the printer, and then it will be in an audit report. So the audit report gives you the breakdown exactly, and then the student gave power to the president to appoint the auditor, and so by far it means that it is the student who gave the auditor the opportunity to audit how much of their funds that has been used. So if the audit commission comes that we've audited, we've realized that this and this is what happened and all that, and it is reliable, the student will accept it that way, than doing nothing at all about it, which has been the usual norm. We have changed the narrative.
But don't you think some students might also say that, because you've appointed the auditor, maybe people might connive, in terms of the auditing process?
Yeah, it is possible. I'm not saying that wouldn't happen, but what I'm assuring students about is that we bought laptops for the office use of the SRC. We bought 4 laptops. We donated 1 to General Assembly, which is one of the things we have done. so that we'll be able to properly document documents, and files of the SRC.
Okay.
That we bought one laptop, for example, at 3,000. Do you get it? You go to the market, you find out the laptop we bought, if it is 3,000. If it is not, then you have a question. But you can't just sit down and say that, oh, they've accounted. He appointed the auditor, so he could not. No, we don't do auditing like that.
Okay. With the issue of buying the laptops, you said you bought 4.
Yes.
Okay, and this is for the usage of the SRC executives?
3 for the office use, and then 1 to General Assembly for documentation of General Assembly documents. Okay,
don't you think some students might find it questionable using the funds to purchase the laptops? Because they might think that, oh, these laptops, maybe some executives have personal laptops, and then you still use the funds to buy laptops. Maybe they might think that there are other things that should have been attended to before buying the laptop. How will you explain that to them?
As of now, we don't have any pertinent issue that you will say students have need of that we haven't attended to. One critical thing is the fee students needed to pay so that they can learn, and we have done that for them. You can't run an office without documentation. You can't go to any office without a desktop or a laptop to keep documents of the administration.
Sure.
Over the year, when we came into office, we could not even see any document left that we could use as a benchmark or to say this was done before, so we want to continue. We want to properly document and keep the SRC. For example, whatever activities, whatever is in possession of the SRC must be on the laptops. And for example, General Assembly needs a laptop or to be able to type minutes, to be able to keep documents, budgets passed, if there are laws that have changed. All these things must be documented. You can't depend on the student's personal laptop to document an office work. The SRC is an office. It's a corporate organization within the university and must have that corporate look. That is why it is necessary to buy laptops for us to use to keep documents and funds that has been used by the SRC.
Okay, so as we are speaking, is it all the let me say the students that wanted help in terms of paying school fees? Is it all that have been attended to, or there might be some that you are not aware of?
Yeah, we published the aid we wanted to give to students. So those who reached out to us, we gave them the help they needed. Those who needed a special arrangement with management, we did that also for them.
Because I can remember
there are some students that we won't be able to attend to, and it happens everywhere. It is not a new thing, and we can't help every student.
Okay,
you get it. For example, a student came that needed loan to pay hostel bill, and we couldn't help the student because the SRC, even students will agree with me that we are not a loan giving organization to be giving loans
for
to students. Exactly. And then some students said they didn't see our publicity of the aid we were giving to students. That is not our fault. You get it? Unless we did it in the secret, that we organized our own people and gave them aid, but we published it. Those who reached out to us, we gave them the aid.
All right, we would like to thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you too very much for giving us the opportunity to explain what we have, what we want to do, and how we want the SRC to be like. We want to leave office with a legacy to change the narrative that used to exist, a legacy that is about a strategic reformation, an agenda to account, an agenda to reposition our SRC, and then give it the future that it deserves. That is what we stand for.
Stronger
together.
So we are all part of it.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you very much.
Okay, today we had a conversation with Nii Lante Lamptey, the SRC president of Ghana Institute of Journalism. He has explained a lot of things, what he's been able to do, what he's here to do, the SRC celebration, what the whole SRC week is all about, the Women's Week, and all that you need to know about the SRC celebration. Thank you for watching.